In our office at Growing Leaders, we have three distinct sociological generations working together. And we feel it sometimes. We all love each other. We love working together. We love our mission. But there are three distinct communication styles, and I notice it all the time. Some prefer a screen, some prefer texting, and some prefer face-to-face. They'll run into an office, but it gets lively in our office, and we constantly have to talk about how we're talking. I mentioned before we have the undeserved privilege of working with lots and lots of companies and organizations and schools. And I was recently doing some training with the Atlanta Braves here in our home city. And I was with the front office staff, a few hundred people, and noticed that they had 4 generations working together, from 70-somethings to 20-somethings. And it was amazing how they were having to learn how to communicate with each other. And they had very distinct styles. My guess is you've seen this yourself. If you're on a campus or in a workplace, you know that there's different communication styles, very often marked by the generation that the person has come from. Not very long ago, I happened to be on a university campus, and this was a vivid example of what I'm talking about. I was talking with a student after my session was over, and they were asking for my honest feedback on something that they were facing in their life, a challenge that they had in front of them. And I felt like I was fairly gracious and empathetic and understanding, but I shared my thought with them. After all, they asked. I could tell immediately I had hurt their feelings, and I had come across very judging and so forth. And I thought, what more could I have said without lying to them that they need to make a change? And herein lies the topic of one of the chapters in this New Generation IY book, how each generation communicates slightly differently, sometimes fundamentally differently. For instance, when we do reviews and feedback times in our office, I have noticed the boomers and the Xers and the Gen Ys and the Gen Zs are all different. Let me just give you a quick example. Baby boomers, when you offer them communication and feedback, often would say, if they were honest, just give me the bottom line. And document it, if you will, please. Generation X would say, keep it real. I know life is hard, just make sure you keep it real. Millennials would say, make it interactive. I mean, if you're going to give me feedback, let me talk too, and let's banter back and forth. Interactive is their middle name. And I would say Generation Z, this newest population that I believe the IY syndrome does affect, would say, keep it short. Sociologists now tell us that Generation Z, the youngest kids being measured today, have attention spans of 6 seconds. I think goldfish are 8, so that tells you, good luck with that. But my point on all this is simply this. We have got to be students of communication if we're going to be effective at leading the emerging generation. And again, in this new book, we're going to talk specifically about how you can be more effective as a communicator, as an empathizer, as a listener with each of the generations you're working with, particularly Generation IY. I'm hoping you're going to enjoy it.